Yo, 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 welcome back to the Young Professional Show. Like I always say, you know what? It's great to be back in the studio today. And we have the finest people in the room. Jacob Bugley, looking so fresh. Is that Tommy Bahama? What are you wearing?
No, this is Zara.
Oh, it's a
Zara
little Zara.
here, yeah. Yeah.
Looks clean. Larry Lanni's looking,
You're
you're looking burnt. You're
coordinated.
looking tan. But he's looking good as always, of course. And then you got me, Andrew Hatfield, here in Scottsdale. I'll tell you what, guys, we are so fired up to be here. It's a great day to get going. We're going to just cut straight to the episode. Larry's got a fire topic for us today, and I am super excited to hear what he has to say. So if you don't mind, go ahead, follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, uh, give yourself a little download on Apple and Spotify, and check out the Instagram page when you have the chance to do so. All right, let's get into it, guys.
Yeah, so I was trying to find a bit of motivation, looking at my balance sheet and finishing up the second quarter of 2023. Man, flew by. Right, we're what's today? 29th?
May 29th. Yep.
29th. So we're going into Q3 and starting the second half of 2023, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I'll put it on cruise control. I really will. I'll typically, my pattern is come out the gate firing, just absolutely firing. Beginning of the year, new year, new me, just like um, and just accumulate a ton of business, a ton of momentum. I gain traction. I'll close out the first quarter with a ton of business. I'll ride that high, and then right now I'm starting to like kind of fall off, right? So looking to pitch a topic here that kind of one I need, right, to talk about. I'm sure if I need it, there's tons of agents and young business people out there that need it as well, including maybe you guys. And really, the topic, I guess, could be surmised into like what qualities or what deliverables, actionable items is it that's going to carry you through to hit your goals and to reach those marks you set here in 2023. And I'll just start with a couple like 1,000-foot view things that are just like when I start to kind of like place my consciousness on it, it flips my mindset around completely, and gets me like fired up, right, to keep it going, right, and to help people. And one of them is just like, I know it's talked about over and over and over again, but like action, right? Just taking action, and whether that means like failing forward, whether that means like just like running around taking action without with your head spinning, without any idea of which way you're going. I think it's important to do that. I think it's like one of the most integral parts of starting or like kind of just injecting like another surge of energy into your business. And for me, it's like there's two types of people. Like one who waits for this certain type of motivation to move me. For instance, like I'm waiting to become motivated, to hear something that motivates me, or to have someone who's running alongside me motivate me to then take the action.
Yeah.
And then there's the type of person who takes action and then generates motivation from that, right? And I think I've been both at any given time, right? And I just need to say that out loud, right? Is that any given day I'll wake up horrible mindset and just waiting for it to hit me, when really I just need to like take action, right? And then like if it's not the right action, you can kind of dial it in and learn from that. And I think that's where it kind of the second thing I wanted to touch on before I open it up and just we can kind of unpack it is I don't know that it's talked about that much. Examining and sort of putting pen to paper on some of your losses, right? Because when you think about it, any like super important industry, anything professional sports, MMA fighters, MLB, all the NFL, they're all doing what when they lose? They're looking at tape. You know, they're looking at tape and they're extracting some nuggets from what went wrong. That way, they don't have to lose again. Essentially, right? Same thing with higher up executives, CEOs, doctors, lawyers, case studies. You know what I mean? Like they look at past data and losses to extract some information so that moving forward you can improve the process. So that's a ridiculously long rant over.
That is okay. Yeah, no, yeah, going back to the first one where you're talking about motivation and stuff like that, like what are the characteristics that help you hit your goals? Um, I heard I I want to say it was David Goggins, like as expected, because do you know who David Goggins is, Larry?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he said this, but it may have been Jocko Willink, same person practically, but he was like motivation is temporary. So like it's great. Like if you have motivation, you might perform better. You might, be more fired up. But at the end of the day, like motivation is not going to get you through a year. It'll hardly get you through a week. So like motivation is temporary, and then I think you have to fall back on discipline. And I think even discipline can be temporary, and then you have to fall back on your why. Like, why are you even doing this in the first place? That'll bring you back to discipline. But um, fascinating subject, and I think a lot of realtors feel this way, but probably a lot of young realtors too, because I can definitely relate to it. You're not always motivated. That's just facts.
Yeah, 100%. One of the things that, you know, makes it a lot easier for me, right? Here's an actionable thing you can do if you're listening. Um, a lot of times, whatever business you're in, for me, it just happens to be how many times do I put the ball in the net? How many signs do I put in a yard? How many closing tables do I get to in a given month, quarter, year? Uh, and so when that result doesn't come as frequent, as I would have hoped, I can get down on myself, and I think that is across the board with most of us. I try to tie my confidence, let's call it confidence, self confidence, maybe even get deeper and call it self worth, to my actions throughout the day rather than the result, right? And so if I stay on my plan and follow my schedule, at the end of the day, I feel like I accomplished something. The equivalent feeling to if I was at a closing table, because I know from being in this business long enough that if I do that, it will end up being, more closings, more people helped.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean you're exactly right. That's what I think. I mean, Jacob, how do you deal with like falling out of motivation? Like, and that comes from all facets of life, like boxing. Like you can't tell me that you're always wanting to go into boxing every day.
No. Yeah. I mean, I think there's like a difference on perspectives with it. Like you can fail and like you can use that as motivation, or like the opposite and not use that as motivation. It's definitely a perspective thing. And I've been in both situations a lot.
Yeah.
But I can see it with Larry. Like when we're on like a 2 hour call, he's like, dude, we gotta get off this call. I got shit to do today. So and sometimes I gotta learn from Larry about that.
Yeah, for sure. You can get caught up doing the wrong thing, and the other thing too. And I remember hearing this for the first time, and it was the first time I ever heard somebody say this, and I was like, that's so true. Is choose your hard. Choose your hard is so true because like it's hard to be broke. It's hard to live paycheck to paycheck, but it's also hard to work. It's also hard to work every day, you know. But both are going to be hard, you know. So at the end of the day, you got to choose your heart, and that could carry you through. That could carry you through tough times too.
Yeah.
And I
Definitely.
think it's just like you got to remember to enjoy the process too. Like it takes years typically to build a real estate business to get to where you are. You've been in the business for 6 years, right?
Yep.
Okay. So like do you feel like you enjoyed the process along the way? Or do you feel like you stressed yourself out and ran through it?
Oh man. Do I feel like I've enjoyed the process? I mean, what a difficult question. Yeah, man, I've enjoyed it for the most part. I'd say there's equal amount of like, God, like, am I gonna even make it?
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. I have a hard time enjoying the process a lot, for sure. Like that's like what Lucas. That's like always what Lucas tells me when we're together. He's like, "Dude, just remember, just enjoy the process." Because like someday when you're sitting on your yacht, you're gonna look back and you're going to cherish the days that you were running food or that you were putting cabinets on the wall. You know what I mean? So I think I have to remember to enjoy the process sometimes more than I do.
Yeah,
For
for
so,
sure.
what are your goals? I mean, do you want to get into your goals like for for quarter three? Now that we're knocking on the door.
Um, yeah, I mean, so as far as like um production goals, I don't mind going over production goals for quarter three. I mean, I would like I would like to close 5 million in the sorry, I was just looking at it on my phone there for quarter three to keep me to and that's not my original goal. That and I think that's important too, is like being able to move the mark a little bit, right? So my thought is wanting to close 5 million in the third quarter would would put me more on pace to be where I want to be at the end of the year. And then I can kind of I don't want to say slack off, but then Q4 is a holiday time, so like maybe I get to kind of chill a little bit more through the holiday times, which I won't do, by the way. I always say that I'm gonna chill around the holiday times, but then dude, the holidays come, like Thanksgiving ends, and I'm like, bro, like the desire to win is like, because I know everybody else. Like I'll get a buyer or I'll have a listing or something in like November, mid-November, early December, and I'll see how many other agents just don't even answer their phone, and I'm like, now is the time to steal market share. And I go hard. I work like every day. I'll work Christmas Day like a psycho.
Well, there's motivation right there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
motivation at
that's
its finest.
that's a huge tip. Like you're so right. Like so many agents, especially like if they've had a good year or even a decent year, they're on track. They won't answer the phone quite as much when the holidays come around and when it's the end of the year and you're thinking like, all right, next year 2024 I'm going to do this, but they're delaying everything for that 2024. Like you said, new year, new me. That's bullshit. It's just a day. Like a new year doesn't mean anything. It doesn't actually mean anything, really. You know, like your goals are your goals, whether it's in January or like April. It's your goals. So okay, I want to go back. You said you moved the mark. Um, what was your original quarter goal? Was it less than 5 mil, but you had a good year, so you bumped it?
Yeah. No, so it would have been less than 5 million. It would have been three,
Yeah.
right? Um, but I wanna bump it up so that if I do kind of that 10x mentality, that Grant Cardone, like one, if I shoot high, miss by a little bit, I'm still exceeding what I initially wanted. And then the thought process was like kind of chill, or at least not, because I know myself. Like I said, I'm not going to actually chill in Q4. I'm not going to chill around the holidays, but maybe the tension or the pressure is then alleviated a little bit there.
So, what did you close in the first 2 quarters then?
So first quarter was a little over 3 million. Second quarter, I haven't even done second quarter. I don't know. I know I have 2.1 in escrow right now, but I don't know what else was closed. So,
do you feel like is Florida? Do you feel like it's seasonal for you? Like, do you have months that are going to be hotter than the others? Typically, that doesn't really mean shit, but typically, if you go back to the history of sales for all agents, is there months that are less?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is. I don't honestly. I could, if I really thought about it, I could tell you what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to go hard all year round, man. Like, I know that the holiday times are a slower time, but I think that goes for everybody, right?
Yeah,
like
worldwide.
Yeah, like right after Halloween, you'll see a drop off. Mid-November, you see another huge drop off. Family coming into town, a lot of traveling taking place around Thanksgiving, and then from between Thanksgiving till the end of the year. I mean, the majority of veteran agents are taking that off. They might get back to work after Thanksgiving for a few weeks and then turn it right back off, mid-December through the end of the year. I mean, most agents are like done December 15th, we'll call it, through, the first few days of the new year. So yeah, that's a perfect new agent tip. So like you could look at it 2 ways. You could say like, oh, why? And I have looked at it 2 ways. Like, oh, why try real hard around this time of year, right? And also, side note, I love how we were talking about like, how do we get it popping for the last half of the year, and we're just immediately already talking about the holidays. But like mindset stuff here, right? Is like if you're a new agent, here would be a really, really good tip for you. Is that you could look at it 2 ways, and like I said, I've looked at it both. I've been both people in this. Is that you can look at it like the market's slowing up. Not many people are moving. A lot of families are in town. I can't cold prospect because, the people are going to be busy with holiday stuff and preparation thereof. Or you could look at it as like closings are still going to happen because they're going to during those times. Holidays are not. And the fact of the matter is that agents aren't working. Not all of the agents are working. So there's a huge opportunity to grab market share. And if you're not closing a ton of business in October, November, December, but you're prospecting really, really hard and you're doubling down, I guarantee you some of your best months are going to be the first quarter of the next year. You're going to build that pipe and everything's going to start to close out.
Yeah.
Some of my best months in December.
I compare it to, this is a silly comparison, but I bet Raising Cane's has a good profit day on Sundays. And you already know why.
What is it?
Chick-fil-A's closed. Chick-fil-A's closed on Sundays. I still want chicken. I'm going to Cane's.
Oh, I don't know what Raising Cane's is. Obviously chicken.
You don't know what Raising Cane's is?
In Florida?
No. It's Chick-fil-A?
Like
no,
better
Chick-fil-A. It's like you have Zaxby's, don't you? You have Zaxby's?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Compare it to that. But it's stupid. I took you off subject. But that's what I compare it to. Is like you got agents that are not working. Let's just say 25% of your marketplace is no longer marketing. They're not taking video production seriously. That's the time to ramp up. That's the time to post every day. That's the time to get fired up. Give a shout out to your YouTube channel while we're here, dude, because it's good. It's really good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Sunshine City Group on YouTube, and weekly we post content, and we is me right now.
Yeah,
I'm bringing it to existence, baby. You're looking at the we right here.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere.
But yeah, man. And that just goes back to like taking action, and I don't know. I guess to better answer your question, I'm pretty sure there's a couple like up and down markets in Florida as far as the time to transact for people, and it's the holiday times. That kind of coincides with like when the snowbirds are coming and going. Snowbirds typically come down here October ish, and then they leave like Easter time. So they're here through like April. Same for you guys?
Exact same.
Yeah,
You can tell by just driving around like the week after Easter, you're like, wow, it's way slower here.
Well, it's like being in a college town and like school's out.
Yeah.
It's so similar. It's so similar. And I think that's like the thing that we can relate on is we're both in the 2 retirement states, right?
Yep.
Which is fascinating. And I want to know, like, for your area, demographically, I don't know if you can put a percentage on it, but if you just had to put a percentage on it, what do you think the demographic between like young, vibrant, energetic kind of demographic versus the retirement demographic? Like 70-30, give me your numbers, do you think?
Oh man. Well, I was telling you guys before the show that I feel like in St. Petersburg it is super young. Super young, which is kind of funny because the history of the city, it was known as what did they used to call it? They used to call it Heaven's Waiting Room, something like that. Like it was like the biggest like retirement. You retired to yeah. That was like the kind of like kid nickname, like the joke, right? But it's changed a lot. Like what it actually is, I don't really know. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I can tell you that, we have 300 plus days of sunshine a year, so like people love the weather here. They love, outdoor sports. So like young people are coming here. People want to raise their families here, but there's also a ton of, multi-million-dollar waterfront property with like people who retire here. There's a ton of that.
Yeah, sports are going really, really well for the state of Florida right now. Miami specifically, hockey team was balling. Are the Rays gonna win? Are the Rays gonna win the World Series, dude?
I would cry if they did. Tell you that much. 100%, I would cry.
I love that.
When is the World Series?
Well, playoffs start October, so I don't know. We've never made it. We made it to the World Series twice, but I don't know when the World Series actually would be. October. How long is the playoffs? I don't even remember.
Well, it's quite a while. It's a couple series of 7 game series. So you got 3 or 4.
Is it October?
Probably late October.
October it starts, but I'm wondering if it lasts till the end of the month. Who knows?
Quick pop quiz. Who won the World Series last year? Who can you guys tell me who won the World Series? Jacob, you go first.
Dude, I literally have no idea. Like, did the Pirates win?
No. Pirates did not win.
Pirates.
Are they the Pirates?
Do you even know what the city Pirates are in?
Pittsburgh.
All right.
I'm gonna say the Dodgers won.
Oh, you don't know either? I don't know either. I was
Atlanta won. No, that was like 2-3 years ago. Houston won. Didn't Houston win? I don't know. Let's get back on topic.
Houston won. Yeah, back on topic. So how do we finish out Q4? Tips for a new agent.
Or anybody, man. It doesn't even have to be an agent, but I just feel like a lot of people are getting ready to get ready, waiting for conditions to be perfect. I think that's what I was ultimately talking about. When we're talking about action, you have a couple different people and I'm guilty of it, man, at certain times. And I need people like you to kind of slap me and pull me out of it, And if I give you the full license to do that, if I ever start talking like that, I'm just, it's not the perfect time to cold prospect, to cold call, to door knock, to this, right? Just waiting for conditions to be perfect. And I've got news for you. They'll never be perfect.
They're never
It'll never be the perfect time to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, my name's Jacob. Is there anything I could do to help you on 123 Main Street?
Yeah. That's so true.
Can I grab your email?"
That's so true.
Yep.
It really is.
Any time of the year. It doesn't matter.
And you touched on it there too, like having an accountability group that you're in, like us, like it's you, me, Eden, Lucas, Jacob, of course. It's like if I need to get slapped in the face, I call Larry, and he knows vice versa.
Yep.
So that's another thing too. Surround yourself with the people who are like I'm telling you guys, for you guys listening, Larry took his first weekend off like 3 or 4 months into the year. He went to the beach, which he lives like 5 minutes away from. Like that was his weekend off. This guy, there's a reason he's hustling.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I can partner up with someone like you, and I can learn and feel that energy that you have.
Yeah, man. And I'm grateful to have something to give and to be around you guys as well. And I think that's another thing to like talk about is service is what really sells. And I don't even consider myself really a salesman. And like you got to be willing to give more than you expected. Like if you're the like this person, for those that are just listening and aren't watching on YouTube, I got my hand out, and you're just like, I put in this much on the phone or this many appointments with you, prospect, or prospective client, and now where's my check? You got your hand out. It's probably not going to work for you. Whatever you're selling, whatever your product is. It just so happens that our product is what most people think is housing, and I don't agree with it. I don't think I sell houses.
Nope. No, you
I
don't.
sell a service, and if you want to say I sell it, I give a service,
Mm-hmm.
What I do is I give speed to lead. I give when my phone rings, like I had a client texted me earlier today, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, it's a holiday." I'm like, I work when needed. Like,
Yeah.
What I do is provide a service,
Yeah. Dude, I'll never forget when I was in high school, I was talking to my mom, and I was like, yeah, I got to learn like how to sell real estate and stuff. And she was like, you're not selling real estate. I was like, no, yes, I am. That's like my job. It's what I'm going to do. And she's like, no, you sell yourself. Don't worry about selling real estate. And I could not, it literally, it was probably like a 5 minute, like back and forth, no, like I have to sell real estate. She's like, shut up. Like, no, you don't. I promise you don't. And
Yep.
now first year into the business, I understood. I was like, I don't sell real estate. I sell myself for marketing, and I sell my service because that's what people actually care about.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
You're right on.
The house sells itself, really. You're
sure.
never going to be able to open a door for somebody and, coax them into this being the right fit for them and their family. You're
Right.
just, it's just, and if you are, then you're not going to last long in the business because it's just, it is what that is. I won't comment on that.
Yeah, but it's not a magic spell.
But you got to be able to get them that house, know, and everything that goes into it. You guys know, sometimes it's being willing around. We'll go back to the holidays, right? For me, here's a little pro tip. I'll give this one to you. And I used to be like, oh, am I going to offend this person? No, I don't. I'm not really in it to be like concerned with your feelings. I hate to be blunt, but sometimes it's like, I don't really care, Miss Listing Agent, about your fucking feelings. Don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I have a job to get done here. And sometimes it's when my client really, really wants, a home. I really, really want in turn the home for them, right? And if they don't answer around the holidays, I got to call your broker. I'm just putting that out there. I got to sidestep you. I got to call your broker. Your broker's listening anyways. But if you're not going to answer the phone, that's who I'm calling. I'm going to get a hold of people. You know how many times I've been on the phone with somebody? And I've just straight out told them, like, do you want to give me their number? Like, you get the gatekeeper at some tech company, and you're trying to get something done for a service you purchased. Like, God knows we purchase a ton of services, right? And with what we do. And you know how many times I've told people, I'm like, you can give me your whoever direct supervisor's number, or I will find it. I just straight tell them that I will find it.
I will figure it out.
Psychopath. I do.
You're like in the FBI.
Yeah,
I do.
Customer service is the worst nightmare. I'm a psycho.
I've had that before. Like, I literally last week I was showing a house, and agent wouldn't answer his phone to give me the gate code because it didn't have an electronic box. And I called him 6 times. Called his broker. His broker didn't even answer. So I'm like, you know what? I'm calling the homeowner. I'm like,
whoa, you did it?
Yeah, she didn't answer. And then finally, what I did still, I'm like, dude, well, here's the deal. I am trying to sell your house as a buyer. I'm trying to sell your house. And then I'll quickly finish the story. He finally calls me back. He's like, oh, yeah, sorry. The gate code's this. And he was like, the homeowner's there, by the way. And I was like, okay, I'm going to ask your homeowner to step out because I don't want her to be there while me and my buyer are there. We're going to be talking about the home. And so she opens the door and she's like, yeah, I'm watching something on TV right now, so I don't really feel I don't want to leave. And I was like, well, that's very disrespectful to somebody who's looking to buy your home that you wouldn't even get off the couch to stop watching your TV show for us to tour your home. So we're not interested. Thank you. And then I texted the agent. I was like, you are probably the most unprofessional agent that I've ever had to work with.
You texted them that?
Yes, I texted him. I said, this was the worst showing I've ever been to, and you're the worst agent I've ever had to work with.
Oh, God, man. I've never done that. I wanted to do that a lot. I've never done that. Maybe I'll try it. How did it work out for you? I'm willing to learn. I'm always open. So how did that work out for you? What did they say?
He didn't respond. But it's his fault. I mean, clearly he's a part-time agent. But here's why. Was because I had 5 other showings that day. And I didn't have time to be there for 40 minutes and then screw up all my other appointment times that I requested. I can't show up 20 minutes late to the next showing because then I only have 5 minutes in the home. I need those 20 minutes. So I was like, you can't not answer 6 calls. So that goes back to, hey, new agents listening to this, or any agent, answer your damn phone.
Oh yeah, and salvage something out of that loss, out of that setback. So what can you do? Right. Well, first of all, you commit to yourself. You'll never be that agent. I don't think you ever will be, but you reaffirm that for yourself. I will not do that.
Absolutely.
And it like to fire in you. For me, when that happens, it like to fire me that I'm like, I got to go get all the business. Why? Because if not, they're calling Sally, and this is the service they're going to get, or whoever. I think you said it was a guy, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, like what can you pull from that loss? You know what I mean? Like, what could you do differently? Self-examination. There might have been nothing you could have done differently. You might have been able, you might have set that up through whatever. Do you guys have showing time?
Yeah.
I think that's a national thing.
Yeah.
So, you might have set it up. You might have called that morning, just following up. Hey, I'm going to be there. You might have done everything perfectly, and there's nothing you could have done. You know what I mean? But a lot of times when I take a look back, I'm like, all right, I lost here. What could I do next time to essentially optimize my time and increase my chances for my client?
Yeah.
Then you have a whole list of it. You do that for a year or two. You have a whole list of things that you should have done differently. But guess what? The next time that comes up, you're like, oh, I took that route. I made that decision, came to that dead end right there. We're not going to do that. We're going to do this.
Well, learning what not to do is just as important as learning what to do.
For sure.
Yep. Yeah, 100%, man. So, oh, man. Do I look like a lobster or what?
Yes, dude.
A little bit, but like You make us look really white.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm so jealous, man. You look good, dude. I'm telling you, you look good. The hair looks good.
Thanks, man. I'm about to go out in the sun again right now. Right at 5 o'clock. I'm going to play some pickleball.
Pickleball, dude. I want to go play so bad.
Topping it off with some yoga tonight. I mean,
If it was you and Drew versus me and Lucas, who do you think would win?
oh man. I mean, does it need to be said?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll
Do you
say
guys
it for
play?
him.
Do you guys play at all?
We
No.
played twice in our life.
So I would say that it would probably just be me versus your
Yeah, me and Drew might as well leave the court and just watch.
Bro, okay, here's the deal. I may not be a refined pickleball specialist, but I am a top tier athlete for a 5'8" white male. If you filter down 5'8" male, my weight ratio and stuff, I would say I'm pretty athletic, and I can hold my own as far as moving around the court. But Larry's clearly Larry's like actually a professional, so we're gonna win.
Yeah. I mean, but it's the same. It's the same with anything, man. It's only I'm not any better, any smarter, any whatever. I might be a little more tan than you guys, but it's because I go out there and I do it. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like basketball, dude. If you would have challenged me, you guys like basketball. If I were to go out there, I would look like an absolute clown.
Well, here's the deal. We'll come and learn pickleball from you, but you gotta spend some time on the basketball court with us.
I don't know, man. Probably wouldn't be fair. I'd be so good at basketball after like a couple hours, and then you guys would.
After pickleball, are you watching your Miami Heat tonight?
Nah, I'm going to yoga, man.
Wait,
do you watch basketball?
Do you do hot yoga?
Oh yeah. Yep.
What do you think the benefits are? Like, I'm actually being serious. Like, what are the benefits? How long have you done it? How often do you do it? And what are the benefits?
So, like, I've been pretty steady twice a week for about 2 years.
Holy
a serious practice for like 2 years. But I've been doing yoga since I was like 18. It's just not serious, just like intermittently, I would say. But the benefits, man. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna challenge you guys. We all know what happened the last time I challenged you. They didn't last. For context, if you're listening, they didn't last. Okay, yeah. But this is gonna be an easier challenge because it's just a do or do not challenge.
Okay.
The challenge is go take a hot yoga class. Okay, put it up against any of your other workouts. Make sure that like here we do a like 75 minutes, and you're in like not quite like the heat of a sauna, but similar, right? Like I think saunas get up to like what 160 to 180 or something. So this might be like 100, call it 110 degrees, but you're working out in that. So figure that one out. I bet you it will be the most difficult, if not equivalent to your most difficult workout of the week. Promise you. But it's also the most beneficial. Like, back to your initial question, squirrel is it like, dude, I feel like my mind's cleared. Like, I'm not thinking about like the bad beat I had in business or, whatever I have going on in my personal life or, also it's like very, very good, for mobility. It's also like builds, from my understanding, like you're not going to be, jacked. I don't think. You ever seen like people who do yoga frequently and have a regular practice, but you have like such, a density of your muscle because you're like holding, poses, time under tension, right? If you anybody who works, I don't work out anymore. Like I've completely replaced yoga, pickleball, and some of the other things I do for lifting. But yeah,
I could see it being like complete opposite of boxing.
Yeah.
With like in terms of like the meditation part of it and like clearing your mind.
Yeah. Boxing doesn't clear your mind?
I mean, it does in a sense, but it's also like, I don't know, it's different.
Probably enrages your mind.
I'll fill this thing up like 3 times in the middle of it. That's the other thing. It just like completely cycles your whole system as far as any toxins in your body. But
Yeah,
super good for you. So you guys gonna do it?
I know
I
that
will.
I know this girl here that does it frequently, so I'll ask her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ask
you should.
her.
Yes.
Ask her. I'm so down. I know there's goat yoga here.
Yeah.
I've seen that. And I know there's beer yoga where you just like drink beers and do yoga.
Oh, that sounds weird.
That
Yeah,
sounds.
that sounds whack.
That sounds. What's the word I'm looking for? Hypocritical.
It does.
Yeah.
It's like
Counterintuitive.
Yeah.
alcohol like dehydrates you and
Yeah, that sounds like not a great time.
Yeah. Plus, in Arizona, it's 100 degrees out there right now. So, like, if we just went and did yoga outside, it'd probably be pretty damn hot. Well, we're gonna go play basketball. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to get the sun a little bit on me today and soak in that radiation and UV and try to look like you next time we're on a call.
Yeah, man. Well, I good luck with it.
Thank you, man. I need SPF 250.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Let's well, yeah. I mean, you wanna grab the outro?
Yeah, guys, always good. Always good talking with you. For the people listening, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Hope you got something out of this episode. I got something out of this episode.
I got a ton out of this episode. I think this was just like a Coach Larry going off episode. Those are my
Yeah.
favorite. Those are my
I think
favorite.
once a month, we should have a Coach Larry Monday.
Yep.
Yes, call me Coach Larry.
You could, dude.
Love it. That's
You
funny.
because you're wise. You're wise. You're wise for your age. Like absolutely.
Yeah.
Like but you're such a versatile person because you in the best way possible you can act like you're 24. You know what I mean? Like I can relate to you like you are the exact same age as me, but you're wise of someone who's been here for a long time. So you are versatile in the sense that you're personable to anybody but smart enough to anybody too.
Yeah, that's,
Well,
that's
thanks,
a good
bud.
way of putting it.
Yeah, that's a very, very complex compliment, and I've never heard anything like it. So no, seriously, I appreciate it.
No, well, for sure. I think like that's what draws me to your intelligence and just like doing this podcast with you. It's like you're exactly who we want to have. So it's perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Go out, do something fun. My tip is just enjoy the process. That's something that I remember during this show that I want to share out. So enjoy the process, whether that be just go enjoy your day. Just go enjoy your day. It's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day and respect all the fallen soldiers.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Peace out, boys and girls.
Later.